The only time you're gonna get a virus or catch a virus, you don't catch a virus, people. The only way you're gonna get sick is if you go to the hospital and let them inject you with something. What they're telling you is the cure, or what they're telling you is they're testing you to see if you got the thing. In reality, they're actually giving you the problem, the virus, in that injection, in that test. Okay? People are letting Satan get into their head. They're not feeling good. Basically, whatever you think, you either let Satan fill your head up or you stay in the spirit with God. And people are letting this stuff fill their head and they're feeling sick and thinking they're sick when really they're not. It's all in their head. They bring this stuff on themselves. That's why the media is pushing all this psyop. It's one big experiment. So they can put the fear out there and lower everyone's frequency so that they know people are going to see this and consume it, and it's going to naturally make people sick. The weak-minded, those who aren't in the spirit, you can think yourself into diseases and sickness. And that's what's happening here, people. And then when you go to the hospital, that's when your fate becomes sealed. I guarantee it. If you're feeling sick, I guarantee no matter how sick you think you're feeling, you can change it and feel miraculously better instantly if you just live in the spirit and walk in the spirit. It happens to me. If I'm ever, like I said, I've never been sick, but if I'm ever just feeling, under the weather or whatever, I don't play into that game, that game Satan's trying to trick me into. If I'm ever feeling any type of affliction, I immediately just think and remember Jesus and His Holy Spirit is within me. And as soon as I start focusing on that thought, bam, instantly I'm feeling better. Nothing's wrong with me. So people are just tricking themselves into death because nothing but death is around them. That's all they see. Stay out the hospitals. There's just so much bogus stuff going around with this that it's like we're really deep in the Twilight Zone. I don't know about y'all, but this just feels so surreal. All of this. Like, I can feel the energy of the world being pulled down by Satan. Like, I can see and feel everyone around me becoming less and less human. And it's really a trip, man, seeing people like fight to stay asleep. And boy, they fight hard, dude. People are fighting hard to stay asleep, man. And it's a trip. Because I'm just looking around, I see everyone becoming less and less human as Satan is pulling the frequency of everyone down the pipe more and more. Because everyone's buying into this and living and walking in the flesh. And no one wants to break out of this matrix via the only way, Jesus Christ, and walk in supernatural power spiritually with the Holy Spirit. Jesus is waiting for His chosen remnant people to become activated and wake up and start walking with true authority and power. And you're not going to do that in no hospital. The hospitals is where the 5G beaming is most powerful. I guarantee you, look over any hospital, you're going to see at least 3 cell phone towers, 5G towers. It's really sick because everywhere that there's a 5G tower, look, wherever I see a preschool, a school, a hospital, or a church, guaranteed to see a cell phone tower right over it. It never fails. Every single preschool, they make sure and put a cell phone 5G tower over that preschool. I mean, it is sick. The placement of this stuff. I mean, people just need to open their eyes. Why are all the 5G towers over the schools? Every single school, preschool, church, and hospital I've ever seen has more than one tower over it. Okay? I mean, there's no one question this. Does no one see this? Eyes to see, ears to hear. No one's got them. If we just go off of what they tell us about coronaviruses, they don't last outside. Okay, like I said, viruses, your body makes viruses. Viruses are actually a good thing created by your body to keep you healthy. But they've twisted everything behind the science, the pharmaceutical, the medical, all that has been twisted. And these people, they go to school, they go to medical school, and they spend 8 years, 9 years, 10 years going to school learning a pseudo science. Okay? Anyone who's a doctor and who has a certificate and they've been to medical school all these years, it's pretty much just a certificate saying that they're certified brainwashed. They've gone through the whole system, a whole 8 years of learning the lies and the BS in the games. All this science and facts people think they know, these doctors think they know, it's all a made up game. Okay? Anything that society puts up as something that's an achievement is actually just an achievement for being so far gone from God. Like, congratulations, you spent so much time of your life running away from God and learning all this useless information. And now, yay, you've run away so far from God that here's your certificate. Congratulations. Certified brainwashed idiot. Anyone that wants to be a doctor, like, think about that, dude. What kind of sick people say to themselves, like, I want to cut people open and I want to, you know what I mean? Like, abortionists, people that decide that what they want to do for a living is kill babies. Anyone who goes into this field is a sociopath, or something's really wrong with these people, that they can spend and dedicate their entire lives on sick, useless nonsense. None of the science and none of the medical practices and all the stuff they learned in school, none of that can come close to the healing of Jesus Christ. I don't care if you put all the top doctors in a room together. In reality, they and everything they know is useless when compared to the actual reality of the truth of Jesus Christ and the healing power. I mean, it really is that amazing. Viruses do not live outside of the body. And viruses die in 80-degree weather or above. 80 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature that kills viruses. Okay? I mean, that's how many things is that I've said that just disproves all of this nonsense. The hospitals, the pharmaceutical industry, it's all evil, man. Antidepressants, they don't even work. Like, just to show you that all of this is a fraud. Dude, I could really get into this. On the back of Prozac antidepressants, they're required to put a big black label saying, warning, this antidepressant, this drug that's supposed to cure you of your depression, can cause suicidal thoughts. What the? They've marketed a drug for depression behind a completely made up basis. There's no such thing as a chemical imbalance in the head that causes people to be depressed. Everyone gets depressed, everyone gets sad, but they lied and created this fake science, just like they do with the globe theory, the Big Bang, the evolution. And Satan is really smart. He comes as an angel of light. He comes with the knowledge, like I always say. That's why this stuff seems so real before you break out the matrix. Like I was an atheist. I was diehard aliens, UFOs, all that, because I was someone who, my thing was logic. And Satan knows that. Satan knows the human mind, and he knows, he's been setting all this up, folks. So they create this fake science saying the reason why people get sad is because they have a chemical imbalance in their brain. And look, we've proven it. So take this pill and it cures the chemical imbalance. The chemical imbalance doesn't exist. It's a made up thing. Just like this virus, just like everything they do. Whatever you do, also don't select organ donor on your license when they ask you that. Hope none of you are organ donors. If you are, then especially stay out the hospital and stay away from there. Because if you're an organ donor, if you've checked organ donor on your license, what they tend to do is, and this has happened many times, this is very well documented and proven, they just don't let the truth get out there so you don't hear about it. But there's been many times where people have gotten in like car accidents or something, and they'll see that they're an organ donor, and what happens is, even though these people have a strong likelihood of fully recovering, they look for organ donors to get in accidents and admit themselves to the hospital. And if you're in a bad enough condition, even if you're likely of living and making a full recovery, if you're in a bad enough condition and you get admitted to the hospital as an organ donor, there's been many times where they end up just killing the people, and because they harvest their organs. They got people like the Rockefeller he was on his 8th heart transplant. Dude got 8 different hearts. That's how scared he was to die and go to his inevitable hell. Dude had 8 different hearts. So these people, they drink blood, they eat babies, they eat organs. So why you would be an organ donor when there's been many cases of even kids, they love going, the younger the better. Young organs are way better. And there's actually, I'll probably upload it soon, there's actually a video and a story of this woman, this mother, sadly. She had a little boy, and I don't know if he was in a car accident or something, but basically he was conscious when the ambulance came to pick him up. He was conscious in the ambulance. But what they decided to do was they drugged him and induced him into a coma, even though he was fully conscious after this car accident. Once he got in the back of that ambulance, they dosed him up and put him in a medically induced coma. And then they lied to the parents and called and said, your son is in a very bad condition. He's dying. He's not going to make it. And the mother's like, what are you talking about? I was just speaking to him. He was just fine. And they ended up killing the kid because someone of importance really needed a heart or a liver or something at that given moment. And the mother actually found out about all of it. I'll try and find that video and upload it here, but guys, all of this is one big giant experiment, and they're trying to make everyone fearful because fear is the opposite of faith. Just like the people who get scared and they decide to go to the hospital, they're operating out of fear, operating out of their feelings, operating out of their flesh instead of operating in faith. Okay? If they can get everyone scared, they can more easily manipulate and control us because they like to order out of chaos. They like to cause the problem. That way they can come in with the cure. So what's coming from this is a whole lot of bad stuff. We got forced vaccinations coming. I'm about to show y'all everything that they're doing now in the name of this virus. It's just really convenient that this virus came about to get their agenda, get the ball rolling way quicker. You know what I mean? Satan is trying to replicate himself in the minds of man because we are the temple that Satan is, the Antichrist is going to try and stand in. Our body, this flesh, is the temple for our soul. Okay? And Satan is trying to get inside and stand within the temple. God's children. Satan is trying to get inside and control and bring down God's children because Satan's already been defeated. God's already won. So the only thing Satan can do is bring down us because we're made in the image of God and he hates that. But everything works for the good of those who are called according to his purpose. Everything, even the bad. I'm realizing this a lot more lately. Even the mistakes we make and the wrong choices. God even uses the bad in your life and the mistakes. If you're called according to his purpose, he will even use that for something good to deliver you. So, we would think Satan being here and created would be a bad thing, but Satan is actually a blessing in disguise because he's just a tool for God. God is using Satan to wean out and filter out all the nasty people who don't want to follow God. He's just God just created Satan as a tool to get rid of all the people that don't want to walk with God. It's amazing. He's using Satan to filter out all the unrighteous. And it's free will. It's your choice. You can choose to be bogged down by this world and operate out of the flesh and operate as if this life is all there is. Or you can choose to rise above, and because we all have a purpose, we all have a calling. Each and every one of us has a destiny. Most people are not living and walking in that destiny. And instead, they're distracting themselves with anything and everything they can all day, every day, trying to suppress that yearning inside of them that's yearning for God, yearning for a true spiritual connection with the Creator, Jesus Christ. That's why people do drugs and drink and watch TV and do anything and everything but what their soul was created to do. You're either giving in to Satan or God. We're here in the middle, and there's a war going on right now.